Log recording continuation. It is 10:20. Actually, it's 12:55 in the morning. It is November 24th, 2023. An ode to artist in recovery, art, and also to the Beau of the fifth column. Beau, thank you for that article. I didn't even realize the public wasn't even aware unless I missed all the science articles on this one here concerning about NASA getting a laser to communicate with the satellite for possibly a flyby, or are we doing some atmosphere, or are we doing an asteroid capture at this point? If they're just going in for the flyby and doing a circle around an asteroid, that'd be pretty interesting. But at this point, I don't know about that one. But it's a pretty interesting article. I like it. I like to read and understand more about that. All right, Daryl, you're up. Artist in recovery. Yeah, I woke up this morning or a little after midnight. Actually, a few minutes before midnight, and started scanning feeds left and right. I saw Beau the Fifth and watched him, and I'm thinking, wait a second, what's going on? So I decided to go on hunting. Saw CNN's article, picked up on it, and then it got me on a rabbit hole. Cosmic rays, high energy particle. And nobody picked up on that one because science is usually picked up on the low end of things. We're so much into politics and government and other things that the science editors, I think, missed this one, or otherwise I missed all the news articles yesterday during Thanksgiving. Probably on purpose anyway, because I was getting sick and tired of all of it anyway. But then hearing about what we've got, ooh, dude, man, there was a lot of articles out there concerning about what the higher energy was picking up. Now, I'm not quite sure if you're aware of CERN, CERN. Out in Switzerland, they have this high energy particle accelerator that creates a hell of a lot of weird ass particles from exploding matter. We can also increase energy output of the sun. I'm surprised the place hadn't melted down during those days, but just for a short time, a very short time, we can get the sun's energy out of it. Out of just one particle exploded. But probably just for a quick microsecond, and then after that, gone. I'm surprised the whole place didn't burn down, I swear. I mean, when they do these kind of things, people worry about whether or not if the experimentations are going to be creating this kind of alternate dimension. There have been reports about that one there, dude. You're talking about your conspiracy theories? Holy crap, when they wanted to get the large hadron uh when they wanted to get this damn thing working here. This large hadron accelerator over in CERN. They thought it was going to create so many cosmic problems or dimensional problems that we shouldn't do this. But it's things like this because of the Einstein equations concerning about relativity, special relativity, concerned about nuclear and particle physics, and our experimentations that we've done, that we've expanded upon our knowledge of the nuclear universe. Holy crap, and you think your brain's been fried enough? I think mine's been fried. But then, try this one. Radio telescopes. Been out there since about, what, 1916? They started making a radio out there to get into the radio realm, and then discovered that there's a whole universe out there they didn't even realize what the hell was going on. And how many decades did it take us to get radio telescopes built? A lot. Maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 decades. And we get these detectors out there. We're reading the universe by the radio waves. We're getting an object. We're getting a visualization of sorts. It's like the comic character Daredevil in Marvel. He used to have sight, and then he got blinded as a kid. But then he's got these other superpowers, these other freaky superpowers that happen because of chemical things growing up in his brain, and he's got this. But he's able to hear things with the sound. He's able to get a sonar, like bats do with their own natural sonar, detecting things, sending a sound waves back and forth. They even do that in the water. Yeah, large creatures and smaller creatures can actually send out sound waves, and you get this universe in liquid form. Well, imagine the universe being that way, and an absolute vacuum doing the same thing. See, I love astronomy. It gets freakier and freakier every time I get older and older. Just when I think I knew enough, there's not enough to know because we learn more and more about it. Science fiction only carries us so much where our imagination is, but when the reality kicks in, that's scary. Yeah, I have fun with that one. Someone was complaining about how miserably depressed I was and I should be happy about things. Well, when I hear and read something like this in the middle of the night, yeah, it gets my interest up because I'm away from human activity. I'm away from human misery. I'm away from my own misery at this point over here, but my brain focusing on something that I still have a passion for. And sometimes it gets flared up, and then we'll see what happens after that. But this one, I did a video concerning about what was being published in CNN yesterday in the science section. What had already been published in Nature and copied and pasted apparently from every other science journal out there, including a few areas of media. But this was interesting. Dude, you know what freaked the hell out of me out on this one? High energy particles. We're talking about a huge cosmic ray uh, beam of energy hitting our particles. It got dispersed in the atmosphere. It turned into a little bit lower energy. And the particle accelerators from Japan and also Utah picked up on this thing. And because of the collaboration we had going on, we were able to detect that these things came outside our galaxy. Our galaxy is freaking huge. But think of it, if I could put your brain into this one here. Have you seen the other video that I was blathering about like this one? Okay, you have a neighborhood. You have a neighborhood in your state. You have a neighborhood in your city. You have a neighborhood in your neighborhood. You know how densely populated and packed you are. You may go out in certain areas of your own hometown that may look like they're empty, hadn't been developed, maybe resource poor. Think of that in a galactic neighborhood here. Your neighborhood is the galaxies. Each house is a galaxy. If there is an empty spot right next to you or within you, that's a void area. Now, put this on a larger, grander scale in your brain. If you want to have your mind blown, do a Google search for local area void. And look at the Google pictures that they have, artistic impressions concerning about what they've been pulling up for decades regarding their research. Mind blown yet? I can hear it screaming out here from the West Coast. This one, they say it came from an area outside our local group of galaxies. Now, I know you're probably not hip on this. That's all right. A lot of other people aren't hip on this one because they're not all scientists in their heads. I'm not mathematically inclined, but I can appreciate what they're talking about. I've read a lot of things, talked to a few scientists. I've had scientists taught me in school. So I have to have a keen analytical brain of thinking and figuring things out. Critical thinking skills. Analyzing. When I heard about this one this morning, actually when I caught up on the story this morning, I couldn't go back to bed. My brain is like, this one here. Some people are going to be appreciative about this one here. Yesterday wasn't a good day. Yesterday was a holiday. For a lot of people, they could be thankful for, but there's a hell of a lot of shit happening out there that really stretches the holiday to its absolute anorexic form. This morning, it's not that day. This morning is this morning. And reading about this stuff, I've got a little information I still got to put together into a extended PowerPoint to talk to the class about science, how it works, and this story will get their attention. I know they're keen on numbers. Some of them are not exactly keen on some of the inventors of math and science. We got this last ditch effort coming up on Monday and Wednesday. This is going to be put into it. And I hope I get to talk to the class about this one because I had been a space traveler in my head for as long as I can remember, dude. I saw at the age of 3, barely remembered, but it just, the landing. The landing. Everyone freaked out, and I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. I'm sitting right next to my brother and my mother at this point over here, and we're sitting, watching the television, all this stuff happening. It's like jaw dropping. I get older, I'm able to read and comprehend. I get this big ass book about dinosaurs, and I get this big ass book about astronomy and the planets and the stars and stuff. I kept reading and rereading and rereading and rereading and rereading. And during those times, we actually had 9 planets. We didn't know about exoplanets. We had 9 planets that were discovered, and they were talking about that in the book. These days, we got 8 planets, and they still argue about Pluto. They call it an exoplanet. Hell, there's hundreds of them floating around in different orbits we've got. You heard about the infamous 10th planet? They keep talking about that in conspiracy circles. But they haven't officially acknowledged anything about a 10th planet, let alone putting Pluto back in as a 9th planet. Bastards. I spent all that time growing up learning about Pluto being a 9th planet, and then they take it away from me in the 21st century. No, actually in the 20th century. They take it away into the council meetings saying, oh, we discovered other planets, and Pluto doesn't exactly fall under our explanation of what a planet should be. And Pluto's already got his own satellite floating around, Chiron, if I'm not... Oh, Chiron. Caron. Chiron. That doesn't tell him about it being a planet? No, because now we got these little exoplanets floating around in space. When the hell did that happen? I tell you, when you go to sleep mentally and try to stay away from this stuff, I have lost out so much space information. It's not even funny. It just, and I learned this stuff growing up, and everything gets contradicted. Everything gets replaced. And this is the love of science right here. Everything gets to be reinvented all over again. And so we still have our immutable laws of nature that we have observed, recorded, and not changed just yet. But the data we keep learning keeps reinventing itself. I'm like, I didn't know about this or that. I didn't know the sun was still emanating a hell of a lot of low energy particles, and yet we get one high energy particle from outside our frickin' galaxy scaring the crap out of our scientists. How many more of these damn things are out there trying to scare the living crap out of us that they detected and we haven't learned about it? It takes them years just to get papers published on this shit. Not instantaneous news? I mean, shit. We can get an atomic explosion underground. Hell, we got instant news right there. We get volcanism happening at this point over here, and it scares the crap out of our geologists thousands of miles away over at Caltech and over at USGS. We got a geologist out in where the hell was it? Idaho, in the western coast area. Actually, in Utah, I think. And he's monitoring Iceland. He's monitoring all the geologic stuff because The scientists and the geologists in Iceland are still trying to see whether or not they're going to have a volcanic activity happening. Basically, their town's going to be blowing up or smothered in lava, or whether or not we got the lava going through and underneath the town into the water to create landmass. And we're more about that shit, but they keep saying the town is doomed. Iceland had allowed people to go in for about 5 minutes to gather all their importance, all the important stuff that they need, and get the hell out. Not because of imminent rupture, not just that, but the gases in the area. Volcanism, when you got gases coming out of the ground, it kills things. There's a lot of carbon dioxide, or actually carbon monoxide is from human, but I think it's also manufactured as well. But there's a lot of carbon dioxide that sucks out a hell of a lot of oxygen. Now, plant life, yeah, but if it sucks out that much uh, life where animals can't breathe, imagine when it's going to be hell on people. And they'll suffocate about the damn shit. We've got that recorded somewhere. I remember reading about it in a geology class on that one. So what they're worried about for Iceland right now is the town. They had to evacuate because there would be a lot of deaths, not just from the explosion, but from the gases happening in the area. And they have to be careful about it. They got detectors out there constantly monitoring whether or not there's going to be any changes in the atmosphere, whether or not the air is going to be turning toxic or not. That's scary shit. I'm not quite sure we have that damn crap out here. We're not all that geologically active these days, but we can be more so out here in the West Coast. But now, when you get close to a volcanic event, and that's the thing we keep an eye on. I mean, we got Mount Etna in Italy having its conniption fit. We got Mexico having a conniption fit. Hell, we got Hawaii having a conniption fit. We got the Alaskan Aleutians having conniption fits. Not to mention Alaska itself. You gotta love this geologic thing happening these days. Yeah, I keep track of science, okay? I'm a science geek. Nothing wrong with being a geek. What's wrong with being a geek? Anyway, I had to get this off my chest. It's just Monday is going to be coming up. I got several other people doing their presentations, and probably Wednesday is going to be my only shot. So I got to have this stuff ready before Monday. I got today, and I got tomorrow, and I got the next day. Let's see, today, tomorrow, and then Sunday. Okay. And I need to add this stuff to it. Send the additions to the professor. And hope to God I pass the class. Math for Liberal Arts. Dude, there are certain things that I discovered about math that drives me crazy that the normal, common, everyday person who would look at this stuff and wondering what the hell is all this crap for in the first place. Me too. We get older, man. We get crotchety in our old age regarding stuff we know or we should know. I'll tell you that much. Being 57, it's not the 30, that's for sure. More like 25.